Hi. Hello. Hi from Portugal. Hello. We'll wait for a few more people to join before we start. Hello. Snowy Lancashire. Is it snowing? Oh gosh. We really know how to do our seasons, don't we, in England? I'm from London. Hello, hello, hello. Now the sun is shining. Okay. It can redeem itself. It's got some time. So we're just going to wait for a few more people to join before I get started. Who is excited for things to slowly start opening up again tomorrow for those in England? Hello. Okay, we'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, let's have a look. Sunny Stratford upon Avon. Ooh, the weather is just all over the place here, isn't it? Shielding for a year. Oh gosh, that's intense. Well, I hope you've been keeping yourself entertained with our masterclasses and keeping active online. Okay, so I'm going to get started because there's quite a few people on here now. Hello. Okay, so I'm Natalie. I'm lead artist here at Charlotte Tilbury, and on the chat we have a lovely Lena who is going to be sending all of the links and everything that you need to know for what I'm talking about in the chat. So, spring summer update. We have to start thinking about the weather improving. We need to change our makeup a little bit. Spring summer is a really great opportunity to embrace the fresh face, natural, fresh look. And I'm going to take you through all of my favorites to create that look from Charlotte Tilbury. So, first things first, we need to prep the skin. I've already moisturized my skin using the Magic Cream Light. This is really great. This is the lighter version of the original formula. They're both the same, but this is just a lighter formula. Perfect if you've got a combination to oilier skin like myself. It has SPF 15 and it also has a blue light protection in there as well. So for us digital savvy people that are always in front of screens like myself, you've got that blue light protection there as well. And also it's really, really good as a prep for your makeup. Any makeup artist will tell you good skin is good makeup. If you skip this step, you're already setting yourself up for a very difficult time when it comes to your application. I've already applied it just because when I apply my cream, my skin gets a bit red sometimes. So I let it calm down for you guys so you don't get to see a tomato face. Now we're going to go into base using potentially my favorite product from Charlotte Tilbury, and that is Light Wonder. My favorite product from the base collection, at least. I could go into my favorites from all of the different categories, but for the foundation, Light Wonder is my favorite. I feel like this one really gets overlooked due to our best-selling Airbrush Flawless Foundation, the full coverage. Anyone heard of the Airbrush Flawless Foundation? Yes, so that's when everyone thinks of foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, they think of the Airbrush Flawless, right? But this is honestly, it's such an underdog. It was the first one that she actually launched, and it's misunderstood. Yes, I see already. I find Light Wonder too greasy for me. So with this one, you need to look at it differently. And this is why I'm going to tell you why you're finding it too greasy. With this product, you need to use a very, very small amount of it. And it's just there to even out the tone. It's not there to be a coverage. It's there to give that fresh skin look. So for that fresh spring, summer look, you want your skin to look like it's, your real skin. And with this, because it's got that hydrating formula that keeps your skin hydrated for 14 hours through the day, your skin is constantly being hydrated so it doesn't dry out and it doesn't it doesn't wear badly through the day. It keeps the skin looking nice and fresh. It's like a supermodel skin in a bottle. And I'm going to stop talking about it and start applying it. So I'm using shade 8. And what I really like with this is that it just looks so fresh. Is it good for acne prone skin? It's good for all skins when you know how to apply it. So you want to put it on the back of your hand. And when you do it, you don't want to put your brush bonk straight in the middle, because when you do that, that's why it's going to look greasy, because you're putting too much product. Yes, you still use magic cream under it. Of course, you still need that hydration in your skin from a moisturizer. This isn't enough on its own. Even if you are worried about oiliness, I used to have quite bad acne. My skin has, touch wood, luckily improved. But I still use this foundation all the way through, even when my skin was oily, and it really makes a difference with application. This works better with a brush, not with a sponge, because the sponge absorbs the majority of it because of it's a sponge. There you go. And so you want to go in and you want to just tickle from the edges. You don't want to dunk it straight in, because that will oversaturate the brush and you'll put too much. And with this, what you want to do is you want to really bounce that into the skin. You're almost just like you're really pressing it into the skin so that it's almost like it merges into one. So your skin and the foundation become one. I'm going to apply it on one side. Now, this is a light formula. It's a lightweight coverage as well. So you're not going to expect coverage from this, but you are going to, and you're going to see why I love it. You're going to see that radiance, that glow. Can you see already? Look at this. Now, don't worry about that shine, because you wouldn't just apply your foundation on its own and leave it. You would still put on, concealer, put on powder. But this overall, when you use it in combination with those things, it just looks like so fresh. Honestly, if you ask me my favorites, this is definitely up there in the top 3 for sure. So I'm going to just pop that on. And again, you want to bounce that into the skin because you're really pressing it in. Can you see? So this is giving really nice. Can you see it's just lightly evened out the skin? Now, don't worry about the darkness. We're going to go in with concealer there. Again, it's not the foundation's job to conceal at this point, especially this one. So don't worry about those areas. You don't want to worry about that coverage there. But can you see how that just evens out the tone, gives it a really nice radiance compared to this side, which is still nice and glowy, but because of the moisturizer, but this is just glow. Can I put Wonder Glow under Light Wonder, or is it too much? Depending on your skin type. So if you have dry skin, then it could potentially add a nice extra little boost. But I find when you use the magic cream with the foundation, you don't necessarily need to. It's an extra luxury if you want, but you don't necessarily have to, no. So we're just going to pop that all over. So I sweep it and then I'll always bounce it in. Because when you sweep, you apply the product and then you drag it straight back off the skin again. And that's why you end up putting more on, because you think, oh gosh, I need to put more because it's not covering. It's actually the application is a 50-50 relationship there. So 50% of it is how good the foundation is, and the other 50 is how you apply it. So we want to make sure that we're pressing it in like so. Okay, so you see that that's just given a really nice fresh radiance to my skin there. And don't worry about those dark circles. They are disturbing me as much as it probably is disturbing you, but we're going to get to those in a second. So look at that. How many drops would you put on your hand? I generally put like a 2p coin size on my hand. That generally ends up being a bit too much, to be honest. But yeah, you just put small amounts and then grab it and put it on. But can you see how it looks like my skin? This is why I love this foundation, because it just looks like your skin, but better. It's like a second skin. And I always get asked, how do you get your skin to look nice and radiant and glowy? I do it with this product. This is it. So now we're going to go in and conceal. I'm going to actually use a color corrector because we want to keep it fresh. I don't want to go in with a full high coverage concealer. I want to just lightly sort of brighten up areas. And I'm actually going in with the Magic Vanish. This is a color corrector, but I'm liking it at the moment really, really precisely as a concealer. So I'm going in with the other end, and this brush, this is your tool. If you want application that's going to be perfect, this is the one. It's a Hollywood complexion brush. You got your foundation end on this side and you've got your concealer end on this side. And I really like this because at the angle, you can really get into those nooks and crannies rather than trying to stab yourself with the big end of the brush. So I get a small amount, like literally, can you see it's barely coming off on my hand? You really want a small, small amount. And again, what you'll hear a lot from me is dabbing rather than sweeping. So you really want to just dab the product, and that's where you can get the most pigment and the most coverage. So we're just brightening up under the eye there. I'm just going to sweep that lightly on top. This is the Magic Vanish. So it's not the Magic Away or the Retoucher. It's the Magic Vanish. It's actually a color corrector, but because I am using it really, really lightly because I want that fresh look, I don't want that heavy concealer look. So I'm using it lightly just to brighten up rather than overly conceal. So can you see how that has just made the whole side, this side, look like it's a fuller coverage than it actually is? It's because I'm only concentrating the pigment and the higher coverage exactly where it's needed, rather than going full coverage foundation everywhere because I've only got one area that needs covering. I'm going, okay, no, step back. We'll put a light coverage everywhere and then we'll see where we go from there. And so I'm going to put that on the other side now. But yeah, we really want to concentrate that pigment only where it's needed. Oh, that's a bit too much. See, I want to drag that off there. Perfect. The Magic Vanish is a new sort of love for me. I kind of, when it comes to color correctors and things like this, I sort of pass them off. I'm like, no, I don't need them. I don't like them. And then one day I was just looking at it and I was like, I'm going to try this properly again. And I fell in love with it now. And I do that when you sort of look at something in your makeup bag and you forget about it. And then you try it again and you're like, oh my gosh, why have I not been using this? So look at that. Can we see that's really brightened up under the eyes, and the skin is still looking really fresh. It's still looking really natural. But now we are going to address the elephant in the room. We've got a little bit too much shine going on in the center of the face. And that's where the greasiness of Light Wonder, where we counteract that, because we want the glow here, but we don't want it here. So I'm going to go in, as you can see, my well-loved Airbrush Flawless powder. Anyone use this powder? Anyone know the magic of this powder? Yeah. This sells every minute. It's our best seller. Anyone that knows this knows that this is, this is legit. And I'm going to show you why. I kind of feel like this speaks for itself. So I'm going to just let it do it. So look at that. It's literally like I've just painted on a filter on my forehead right there. This is probably the only product I would sweep as well, because the texture of this really likes sweeping. But so we've just done that, and it literally has blurred my skin. I've put Paris filter on my forehead. And now we're going to just go down the sides of the nose, because we don't want shine around there. Can we see this side here? It's really accentuating that line. Whereas here, it's now flattened it out and blurred it. It is amazing. So yeah, we're going down the sides, and I like to just go down the chin as well. So I have a combination skin. I do get oily, but this really, really balances it out. So we've got the glow exactly where we need it. And then, a bit shiny around the nose here. Let's do that as well. From the front, we're looking fresh. We're looking natural, matte. And then from the side, bam, glow. And that's how we get that natural look. We get that natural, fresh spring, summer glow. So I really would love for you guys, if you do try this technique, do send me a message on Instagram and show me, because it's a completely different way to this classic full coverage foundation, which is amazing and flawless. But this is a bit more of a natural take to give that nice, fresh, I woke up like this. Which brush are you using to apply? So I used the... Which one is this? I would have used the Powder Sculpt. I've only got one though, so I'm saving this for the blusher, which I'm going to use. But now moving on, let's go on to brows, because I feel like we've done a really nice starting point for the base. We're going to go back to the base, but let's get on to the good stuff. So who has seen the new brow launch that we have done, that we have sent out to the world for you to see? Yes, these supermodel brows. I'm going to show you the supermodel brow kit, and I'm going to show you how I use this. Now, I do have quite full brows naturally, but we still need to add a little bit of definition to the shape, because as we can see, we've got some fullness here, but can you see this side here is a little bit lower? She's a little bit sadder than this side. So we still need to correct. We still need to, add some life back in and just lift the arch a little bit more. Now, when it comes to brows, I am a less is more. We like that natural supermodel fluffy brow that looks like it's your brow rather than, and that's sort of the theme that I really love with spring summer makeup, because it's fresh, it's really natural. I'm going to show you the technique still, even if you don't have brows, or you don't have as full brows as mine, I'm still going to show you the same technique. I'm going to use the brow cheat. I love this because it's so precise. Look how small this is and how sharp. So I'm going to show you, can you see? You can do a thick line, but you can also do a very, very precise. Can you see how thin you can get with that? So we're really going in and we are going to draw on those brow hairs literally one by one. So what I like to look at first with anyone with their brows, so you want to look at your brows and go, okay, where are the gaps first? A most common thing that I see is that this area here is a little bit fuller than the edge. And what the mistake I see is that you go in with the pencil straight in the thicker area and then connect. You want to actually start in the sparse areas first and fill it out first, because otherwise you'll overload that thicker area with way too much product. And so when you try and even it out on the ends, which are more sparse, you end up making your brows a lot more intense than you probably originally wanted. So you want to map your brows first. So you want to use the comb end of the brow cheat and you want to just brush your hairs up first. And you want to just see what's going on. Then you want to just align from the side of your nose upwards. So that's where your brow should start. So mine does luckily start there. So I'm going to leave that area alone. Then we're going to go from the corner of the nose through the pupil. And this is where the arch should be. Now, my arch is kind of there, but we could lift it a little bit higher just to give that lift like that. And then you want to go from the corner of the nose, from the corner of the eye, and that's where your brow should end. Again, luckily mine does end there naturally. So for me, it's just my arch. So I'm going to go in just on the arch area. And what you want to do is you want to do brow strokes in the direction. You don't want to go from under and draw a line like that. That's how it ends up looking way too intense. So we want to just go in the gaps and we want to just fill those gaps in. Can we see straight away, look at the difference there? Now there's a little bit of a tucking up here, which we want to just straighten out. So we want to just go in and just straighten it up. Can we see how much of a difference that makes just by placing it only in the area that is actually needed, for me anyway? You change the whole brow shape rather than starting in here and going way too intense. So now we're going to fix this side, which is the sad side. So we're going to fix the corner first. So we're just aligning that. Yep. So that's where we want it to go. And then we're going to just lift that corner a little bit higher. There. Perfect. So can you see how this one's a little bit lower now? So we want to just recomb through. And then we're only placing the product exactly where it's needed. We're not going in everywhere. So we're just going to extend that up a little bit higher. Just like that. Can we see how that's balanced out now? So if you have hardly any brows, and it depends on the level, but I would always, if you have nothing, let's say we have nothing to work with, start in the arch and then go back and forth and work backwards. Because when you start here, you don't want the intensity of the product right here, because it can make you look really angry and villainesque. And we want to look like nice, lovely heroine, ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between. So we want to just get it in that area. That's where we want to concentrate everything. Can we see? Then this is where we fluff up the brows and we feather it. So we filled it in and now we want to feather up. So when we say that, got hardly any eyebrows, majority of the time we actually do. It's just that those brow hairs are so fine that they almost come up invisible. You know, that's vellus hairs. So this is where the Legendary Brows comes in. So you're going to comb that through, and it's going to pick up those hairs that don't really show up, and it's going to bring them to light. So I'm going to just paint this through. It's quite tricky for me to show with my brows because I do have quite a lot of thickness there. But can you see that just looks a little bit fuller? Gonna go in on the other end. So once we've done all that, we're then going to fix it in place with the brow fix. And this is where it's going to, it's almost like the hairspray for your brows. This is going to lock it in place so it doesn't budge, doesn't move. And it's clear, so it's got no color. And I'd comb that through just like that. And we want to go in like an angle there. We don't want to sort of go across like this. We want to go up. So we lift the brow hairs up. Just like that. You see that it looks natural, it looks defined, but it doesn't look harsh like that. How are we getting on? Let me just check. Yeah, so if you do have, you know, barely anything, start on the arch. That's the best thing I can suggest, because then you won't overload everything on your brows in this area here, because then it drags it down. Okay, next we've got the brows. Let's go on to the eyes. So when I think of spring, summer, I think of Pillow Talk, the Pillow Talk collection. Who uses anything from the Pillow Talk collection? Yeah. Pillow Talk is that sort of, it's become a whole thing and it's amazing. It's just the most perfect tone that suits everyone. And I'm going to show you the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette. Now, this is a really fresh way to brighten up the eyes. And the way I'm going to use this, say we're feeling lazy, we want a little bit of a glam look with no effort. The general way, throwing my brushes around everywhere. The general way we would go is we'd go bright color and then we'd work round. I'm going to show you a lazy way of doing it. So we're going to go in straight with the dark tone with the brush. And then we're going to just pop that all over the eye into the crease. Say we're in a hurry. This is a really nice fresh way of applying this product. So you want to just throw that all over really, really lightly. Like that. And depending on your eye shape, you want to make sure that you're keeping everything within. Don't drag it out too much. This is how it keeps it looking natural. I find that these eyeshadows last even without a primer. We don't generally need to prime them with this. They last on their own. But can you see just on their own like that? That's a really fresh start. But we want more. We want more. So we're going to go in with the light color now. So we're going to go diagonally across here. And we're going to just brighten up the inner corner right there. And this just opens your eyes up. Can you see? Really easy way. I get asked quite a lot actually when it comes to the highlight shade. Do I need to put it underneath the brow? Not necessarily. I feel like if you want to keep it natural, keep everything concentrated on the lid and you will be good to go. The pink shade looks peach on me. I mean, I would say that with this one, I worried that it wouldn't show up on me or be too peach, but potentially your tone is quite cool. I generally find that this works on most people, but it can't be for everyone, this one. But we do have another palette. I'm going to grab it actually. We have the palette of Pops, which is not as warm, I find. I'm going to show you. So this one's got a really nice pink shade here, which is really, really nice on if you find that the original is too pink, too peach. That one's really lovely. But this look, I find that this look, I'm going to do this in the next 10 minutes now and finish it off. Exaggerize is a really nice alternative, actually, if you find this too pink. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now because I just get too excited when it comes to Pillow Talk. Now I'm going to use the Pop shade, and this is how it's going to make it look really nice and bright and really nice and fresh. And so you've got your day look here, really nice and fresh, right? Evening time comes. We want to sparkle a little bit, but we don't want to do much with our eyes. You're going to get that pop shade and just look at that. Straight away, we've gone from daytime to glam in an instant. It is literally like liquid silk. You're right, Lindy. These are like butter, these pop shades. And these are probably my favorite things about the luxury palettes is that pop shade. It just changes the whole look. Look at that. Just with your finger. You don't want to apply that with a brush. It won't go on properly. You want to use your finger with that. Okay, now we're going to go in with our second Pillow Talk item. It's the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. Who uses this? Who loves this? It is one of those mascaras that's misunderstood, unfortunately, because of the wand. It's a very unique wand. Can you see? And then I'll turn it around and it changes shape. So what you want to do with this, and this is the common mistake I see, is you just go straight in. The best way to apply this mascara is actually go in first like this, and you want to stamp it in the eye like that. Can you see straight away? So you want to just stamp it in. Then you turn the brush around and you comb the rest of the product through the lashes. And I've not curled my lashes. I've only got one coat on there. Look at that. Straight away. It's like I have falsies on. It's that stamping in the lash line that makes the difference. So I'm not even going to double dip in again. I'm going to just stamp that in. And then I'm going to turn the brush around and I'm going to comb that through. One coat. Look at that. And this really lasts all day, this mascara as well. It's super, super black. And when you're doing that stamping motion, it almost creates the effect of a tight line. So your lashes look fuller at the root. And then they go super long. Look at this. It looks like I have false lashes on. I know it's such an amazing mascara like that, but we're looking really nice and fresh now. The mascara makes such a difference. And Charlotte Tilbury herself really said that mascara was actually what made her fall in love with makeup, because the transformative power of it. And, you know, it just really makes such a difference. Lashes really get overlooked sometimes, but look at this. One coat. I don't feel like I even need to do another coat, to be honest. I think we might be pushing our luck here. We're going to go and move on now. So it's time to go back to the skin. So we want to add some bronze. This is spring, summer after all. We want to add a little bit more radiance to the skin, a little bit more warmth. We want to cheat the sun where we don't currently have it. For those where it's snowing, this is what we're going to do to create that glow. So we're going to go in with, this is my favorite product, the airbrush bronzer. This is, like, I know Light Wonder is probably there in the top 3, but this is the one that won the award for Natalie's favorite product from Charlotte Tilbury. I used to use the airbrush powder in the darkest shade because I love the formula of this. And I used to always say, I really hope one day that they bring out a bronzer in this formula, because that would be my life complete. And alas, when we found out that they were creating a bronzer and they said it was the same texture as the airbrush powder, you can imagine my excitement. And now this is my new baby. This is my favorite. We love her. So we're going to go in and we're going to add warmth to the face using a 3 motion. So we're going to go in a shape of a 3. So we're going to go up the top here. And this has the same texture as the powder. If you love that powder, you're going to love this. It's honestly, see, I'm getting too excited now. We're going to just apply the products and show you. So it's matte, but it's not like a dry matte. It's a really velvety, smooth matte finish. Because, like, we love a bit of glitter bronze. That's nice. And that's in the Film Star Bronze and Glow. That's a nice sort of like satiny finish. But this one is just a really nice natural bronze. Can we see how that's just, and that blurring formula of the airbrush family, it just creates that bronzy, flawless finish. Look at that. I love it. I could apply this all day. I'm using medium. I like a natural bronze, even though I'm a big fan of the bronze. I like it looking a little bit more natural. But when I am more tanned, I mix the 2 and the 3 together. It's not the same as the Film Star Bronze and Glow Bronzer. The Film Star one is more satin and it's a little bit more bronzer-esque, if that makes any sense. This is sort of it's a sheer bronze that builds up, whereas the Film Star Bronze and Glow is a bronzer. It's bronzer in its right. But I prefer this one because it almost just, it's like a bronze that's in your skin rather than on your skin. Look at this. What do we think? We're looking sun-kissed, but we're looking fresh. I love it so much. Okay, can you see I'm getting way too excited now? We're going to go on to lips. So I'm going to use the Pillow Talk, and the Pillow Talk family is so amazing because we cater for all skin types, all skin tones. So I'm going to use the original, but it depends on my mood. Sometimes I go in with the medium, and then for our deeper ladies, we also have the intense. So I'm going to show you the difference. So we've got the Pillow Talk original here, which is the one I'm going to use. Then we have that's the intense. Let's go in with a medium. Then we've got the medium here. Can you see it's a little bit richer, say for the medium to dark, and then we have the intense for the deeper shades there. I'm going to go in with the Pillow Talk, and they all have corresponding lip liners that match with them. So I'm going to go in first with the lip cheat, the Pillow Talk lip cheat, and I'm going to just very lightly go over the top. And I've got the lip oil on my lips, which is why they're shiny, just to keep my skin nice and hydrated on the lips. And I'm just going to slightly overline just at the Cupid's bow. You don't want to overline too much on the outer edge because that's how they look like this, and we don't want to look like that. I want to just tuck it in at the edge and just overline in the center to get that nice pout. And I like to draw that all over the lip. Like that. Then we're going to go in with the lipstick. I've got a nice fresh one. I really don't want to use it because it looks so pretty when it's brand new. But I'm going to do it just for you. And we're just going to swipe that on. Let me see that. Really natural. It matches my skin quite nicely. But we want more. I want a gloss. I'm a gloss girl. So I'm going to go in with the Pillow Talk Lip Luster. You guessed it. It's a Pillow Talk shade again. And I'm just going to pop that over the top. Like that. Really, really fresh. Now, we feel like we've missed something, but actually Charlotte likes to leave blush until the end. So now I'm going to go in with the blusher. Who's going to guess what shade I'm using? You guessed it. It's the Pillow Talk. Now, we do have 2 versions of this. So we've got the intense version as well for the deeper ladies. I can get away with this when I'm tanned, but this one is perfect because it's got that really gorgeous highlight shade in the center. And we're going to apply this in a way which is going to lift the face. So generally what ends up happening when we're applying blusher is you go smile and you apply the blusher, but then when you drop your face back down, can you see how the brush dropped? Placement is also just as important when it comes to blusher as the shade. So we're going to actually put 2 fingers to the side of the face, and this is where we're going to start our blush, and we're going to go upwards because we want to lift. So the best one for pale skin, strawberry blonde, is it the blusher or the lipstick? So we're going to put 2 there, start here and go upwards. Blusher, definitely the Pillow Talk original. The intense will be too dark for you. So 2 fingers here, we're starting here and lifting up. And that just gives a lovely flush to the skin. So you see, really nice. This blusher is the one which I really love on bridal. which is sort of bridal makeup is sort of like the most perfect encapsulation of spring makeup in my eyes. So there. And that is the finished look. What do we think? Pillow Talk is just such a spring summer in a collection. It's spring summer in a collection for sure. And look how fresh this looks. Like I feel so natural but really glam. Like we don't have to go in with all the intensity to create that glamorous look. We can still look glam and fresh. Thank you. So let's see if we have any questions. I know I've overrun a bit, but let's have a couple more minutes. So yeah, Pillow Talk always looks like skin. That's correct. Yeah, so this is very much like spring summer is more about natural. It's more about your skin looking like skin, it looking fresh. It almost just touching the no makeup look, but a little bit more. It's like evening no makeup look. And especially with that eyeshadow, look at that. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining. Really had fun. I think I definitely got carried away and I got very excited with this, but yes. So have a lovely rest of your day or evening, wherever you are. Do try this out. If you do, please do send me a photo on Instagram. Lena has sent my Instagram there for you to check me out as well. And yeah, have a lovely day. Happy Sunday.